Welcome back to the Situation Room. This is situation number 2 where I am eating out at lunch. So I have experienced this before where I've been at a food court and in front of all of these fast food options and I have to make a choice, and I want to make the choice that's right for my body so that I get the most energy out of this situation. And I look around and what has the most enticing, or my friends are bringing me into the most enticing line, which is this Asian food where they have like noodle bowls and a little bit of maybe meat on top. There's different varieties of like chicken or pork or shrimp, so that they would arrange these nice noodle bowls. So there I am in line looking at all of the options and going, how am I going to balance this? So what do I do in this situation? First of all, I have to think quickly about what energy do I need at this moment. Do I have a training session or am I playing a game within 3 to 4 hours? If so, then I want to have a balanced meal that's going to digest in that time period. So if you look at your cheat sheet, you will look at situation 1 and you will have options already that you know work for you. Now, if it's closer than that, I have to already reduce down and have a mini meal. So if I'm within like 2 hours of my training or playing time, I want to have a minier version of what I'm going to eat. I have to keep that in mind. If I'm going to train in the next hour, it is not the time to have lunch. Like, I'm grabbing a snack and that's it. So I won't even talk about the situation 3 and 4 just yet. So what I want to focus you on is I'm in line at this noodle bowl place and I'm choosing what I'm going to have. So there I look at it. It's noodles at the base, and noodles are on my Energizer list. So I know, check, I can get energy at this meal. Now, maybe that is not the target energy that I want you to have at every single meal, but it's definitely gonna have energy in it. So, and there's a good quantity. I'm looking at this bowl. It's this huge bowl that's gonna be filled with noodles. So I know I'm covered. I know I'll have enough energy, and probably if I'm not going to go train, it is too much energy for me. So I may have to stop myself from eating the entire portion they're gonna give me. Then I look at the next thing in the bowl. There's a broth, a soup. So I hope that they're not putting too much oil in that broth, and maybe I shouldn't be drinking it all if there is a lot of oil droplets. So you gotta be careful about those extra oils and sauces when you eat out. Then I'm looking for the next piece, which is my muscle building material. I wanna have enough to sustain me, to give myself that muscle building boost. And so this is where a lot of places fall short, because especially with these fast food places that are trying to save a buck, they're going to skimp, if possible, on the most expensive item, which is those muscle building materials. So I look at it and I go, you know what? Can I order an extra bit of chicken? Can I have double portion? Sure, I'll pay for it because I'm paying for performance. I am not worried about, getting the biggest bang for my buck. What I want is the biggest amount of energy and nutrient-rich foods into my muscles in time for my next training session. So I'm going to increase the protein in this meal, very probably. And so that looks like the chicken or the shrimp or the tofu. Usually I need to do double, sometimes triple portions to get to an amount that makes sense for an athlete. And then I'm looking at those famous superfoods. This is one of the hardest areas when you eat out at fast food places to get done well. And so often it's little sprinklings of tiny bits of vegetables, especially in the soup bowl. There was like a few shreds of carrot. So that is not going to be a game changer for me in terms of the superfood department. So in this instance, I would be stuck with an imbalanced meal. But maybe what I could do is look around at other options or see what else they have on the menu to balance that out. Like maybe there is a little thing of vegetables I could purchase on the side. Maybe I could have something that's extra as well in terms of the vegetables. Sometimes they do that. So just look at that and see how you can balance it out at that restaurant or at that fast food place if that's where you're at. But it's possible. So in that situation where I'm eating out at lunch, it is possible, even at a place that doesn't offer really good options, it's possible to balance for performance and still hit your energy goals and needs. So situation 1 would be covered. Situation 2, I want to actually probably keep the proportions of vegetables and muscle building material that they naturally give me because they're not enough. and just focus on having how much energy I need. So already a lot of fast food places or restaurants may balance out the muscle builders and the superfoods already for you in the right amounts. Now, some restaurants do give you huge chunks of meat, so you have to be careful of that too. So too much protein will not be good. Too much of those muscle building materials will actually slow in your digestion and not be good 3 to 4 hours before your sport, before your training. So just be careful of that. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea how you would use a situation where you're at like a fast food place and you need to eat balanced and for performance. So what foods are you going to choose? And just a little side note, how can you avoid being stuck at a fast food place in the future if you don't want to be stuck with bad options? Keep that one in the back of your mind, but I know it's going to happen, so now you have some tools.